Hello, everybody, and welcome to Finland. This is the FIBA Euro Cup semifinals, the second leg between Karhu Basket and Anwil Wloclawek. Well, anybody that's been following this FIBA Europe Cup this season knows very well that these two are two of the best teams, Anwil and Karhu, splitting their regular season encounters. But when they met in the first leg of the semifinals, it was all Anwil avoiding the defeat that befell them when they took on Karhu at the beginning of the season and just romping to a 90-71 victory. It was impressive stuff. There was no doubt about it. Karhu can play much better, but you have to really tip your hat to the team in Poland. They came out focused, they came out determined, and they executed the game plan. So you can see if the winner of this tie, if it's Anwil or if Karhu pull off the big comeback, they will take on the winner of Cholet and Kalev Kremo. So that is a much closer tie. Kalev with an 80-73 win. That was at home. The second leg will be in France. So Karhu, the Finnish side, and a team that has had some big wins over the years and certainly has a lot of respect, not just in Finland, but the way it's played has certainly raised some eyebrows in Europe. But last time out was not one of them. They were second best, and without a doubt, they're going to have to hit the ground running tonight if they're going to have a chance to overcome this big overhaul, this big deficit. The game is going to keep being played until the aggregate scoreline favors one team or the other. So if Karhu somehow, some way come back, even pull level at the end of the game, you would have overtime to determine which team goes on. So that's how it is. You can see the Karhu Basket fans certainly here to support their team tonight, dressed out in the orange. And you have the bear symbol at mid-court.
Tervetuloa hyvä yleisö IKH-areenaan tänään FIBA Europe-Cup semifinaali numero 2. Welcome to Kauhajoki.
See the referees, Oskar Lucic, Zdenko Tomasevic, and Peter Praksh from Latvia, Slovakia, and Hungary are the referees for this game.
Ottelukomissaari Kestutis Filipauskas. Otteluisäntänä tänään toimii Kauhajoen kaupunki.
So when we look back at that first leg and we remember how Anwil took control, it was really, I would suggest, in the second quarter, even though they only led by 6 points at halftime, but they put the result beyond doubt in the third quarter when they outscored Karhu Basket 27-13. Victor Sanders had a terrific outing, came out and scored 19 points, but some great work inside as well. Malik Williams had 7 rebounds to go with his 5 points. Philip Green, as always, provided some scoring. He had 16 points. He was 4-6 from three-point range. Sanders also had 4 3-pointers, 4 of 9 from deep. But you really had to tip your hat to the likes of Mikhail Novakovsky, who was 16 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, really helped set the tone for the Polish club to get the big victory. Joseph Sobin as well, 13 points, 8 rebounds, was terrific. And for the Finnish side, Karhu Basket, well, even though they're on the losing end, they did have some good moments. Cameron Jones ended up with 16 points. Henry Conton, I think he could play a lot better. He had 8 points, 6 rebounds. Daniel Dolik was really a non-factor in that game, just 5 points and a couple of rebounds. Manny Patterson was active, 6 points, 5 rebounds. Severi Kaukianen had 13 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. I thought he actually did very well. And Mika Martinen played not many minutes. Jay Crockett, 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. So, you know, can it be done? Well, of course they can. You just don't know from one game to the next how a basketball game is going to be played, how the rhythm is going to be established. You know, if perhaps Karhu had been able to make some shots earlier on in that game, it might have set the tone for a much different outcome. But as it was, they were not at the races. They finished 9 of 31 from three-point range, and Anwil were 12 of 26. But when you look at the rebounding, it was just the hegemony. It was the domain of Anwil, 43 to 34. They really did give themselves an extra boost the way they pounded the glass. Turnovers were costly as well for Karhu basket. It was 18 of the 90 points scored by Anwil came off of those turnovers by Karhu. And also the bench. I mean, it was a huge difference. Advantage Anwil. They came out and got 43 points from their bench, just 16 points from the bench for Karhu basket. So just room to improve all the way around for the black and orange for Karhu basket. And perhaps the biggest difference will be is while they did have some fans that traveled to be with them in Poland, they've got home court advantage today. And you never know. The sixth man, it might make a difference, certainly as they try to cut into that big deficit. But what you don't want to happen is for Anwil to come out and really stretch their lead early on and turn what is already a huge lead into just a mountain. So for Anwil tonight, starting will be Philip Green, Malik Williams, Kama Wonchensky, Luke Petrasic, and Michael Novakovsky, again, who was really active. And for me, maybe their most important player, the way that he performed in that opening leg. Came out, played exceptionally well, and set the tone. And coming from the bench, Moore, Sanders, of course, had the huge game. Daldo, Sobin was terrific. Slipinski, Boyanovsky, and Voroniecki. Przemysław Frasztankiewicz is the coach. There he is. And Cameron Jones, Daniel Dolik, Severi Kaukianen, Jay Crockett, and Lee Skinner in the starting five for Karhu basket. And coming off the bench for the Finnish side will be Kantanen, Silkos, Patterson, Enema, Martinen, Hakama, and Dixon for Jane Koskimis. There's Coach Koskimis. You got to get the mentality right. You got to be positive, but you got to be determined. And the one thing that we noticed in that first game, the steely determination, the relentlessness of Anwil, they just were not going to be denied in that encounter the other day. It was impressive stuff. So here we are, the winner to advance to the final of the FIBA Europe Cup, which will also be two legs. They will face the winner of Kalev Kremo, the tie between Kalev and Cholet. And that one gets underway a little bit later tonight, 8 p.m. Central European time. So the winner of that tie, or those two teams, will know who's waiting in the final. And it's always great to be able to finish a year with a trophy no matter what, and to know that you're this close, you definitely want to give everything. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Here we are in Finland watching the second leg between Karhu Basket and Anwil Wloclawek in the semifinals of the FIBA Europe Cup. Anwil in the blue and already with a huge lead. They stretch it from 19 to 21 points as Anwil Wloclawek drives right into the lane and makes a layup. Kalkiainen. Thought he had some good moments the other day. Sees up his options. Not much movement on offense. They're going to have to chuck it up here. And traveling is the call, so already a difficult start for Karhu Basket. And it's something they can ill afford. Remember, they were outscored 24-17 in the opening quarter in the first leg. Novakovsky. That's a pick for Wloclawek, so allows him to get up and across midcourt in time. Dolan comes out. Guards Williams. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Green has it. You want to get it a hand in the face. So he's going to drive in. Bounce pass. Tries to get it to Williams. And Wloclawek, I think even if he'd been able to save it, wouldn't have had enough time to get the shot up. There was only about 0.7 seconds on the shot clock. So it's a long game. And if you're Karhu Basket, that's what you have to be thinking about. This is a long game, and you just have to play possession by possession. Try to execute. Get some good things going here. Kalkiainen behind the back pass. Dolan trying to get it to Crockett. Novakovsky brings it across midcourt. Guarded by Crockett. Green has it. He will put it up from anywhere. Looks for space. Puts it up and misses the shot. You got to make things a little uncomfortable for him. And another miss for Karhu Basket. Still looking for the first shot to fall. Dolan guarding Williams as he brings it across midcourt. Not sure that's ideal for Karhu, having your big man bringing the ball up the floor, but that's the situation. Now the pass goes inside to Petrasic. He is not able to save it. So again, these are moments, if you're Karhu Basket, where you have to capitalize. Met twice during the regular season. Karhu Basket lost the second time they met here in Finland. They won the first game right at the end with a Dolan bucket. Here's Dolan from downtown, short. Crockett crashes the boards. And Kalkiainen avoids Williams, and he gets in for the layup. And it's the first 2 points of the game. And you can hear the crowd getting a little restless. I know Finland coach Lassi Tuovi will be monitoring this game. Might be one or two players contending for a spot in his national team. There is Malik Williams burying it from downtown. Cam Jones into the paint, decides to pass it back outside to Skinner. Jones, shot clock winding down. Here's Skinner, lets it fly. Well, what a difference it would make for Karhu Basket if they could get it going from long range today. Something they really, just offensively, they just couldn't get anything happening in the early going.
Karhu Basketilta kentälle Manny Patterson, Dikembe Dixon ja...
So Dixon comes into the game. And Dixon thinking, can't remember him playing in the last game. So this is a boost tonight to have him on the court. Dikembe Dixon, and another basket for Anwil. Green. Also in the game, Continent, number 5. He's got the basketball. Cam Jones. And offensive foul.
Karhu basket 10, Manny Patterson ensimmäinen virhe, first personal foul, toinen joukkuevirhe.
So yeah, that was a clear push by Manny Patterson, pushing the defender out of the lane. Novakovsky does not get it across midcourt, and we've seen a few times already. That's been an element of the game where Anwil has struggled a little bit. So maybe a little bit of pressure could create some opportunities here for Karhu basket. So remember, right now, it's only a 2-point lead for Anwil in this game, but because they won the first game by 19, they've got a 21-point lead overall on aggregate, and that is the score that's going to determine which team moves into the final.
Ensimmäinen virhe, first personal foul, ensimmäinen joukkuevirhe, first team foul. Karhu basketilta kentälle, Eero Innamaa.
Dikembe Dixon is off the front of the rim, goes out of bounds. So Victor Sanders, the hero of game 1's checked in. He wears number 6 for Anwil and has the basketball right now. He had 19 points in the opening game. And his lob was just, well, Williams can get up, but he can't get up that high. And Dikembe Dixon is fouled by Williams.
Anwil 4, Malik Williams. Ensimmäinen virhe, first personal foul, toinen joukkuevirhe, second team foul. Anwil vaihtaa kentälle Lee.
So that was just a little too high for Williams. And Dixon probably lucky to get that call. 2.01 meters in height, 6 feet 7 inches. Dikembe Dixon, 26 years of age. Continent drives in, and the ball knocked out of his hands, but it'll stay at this end. Continent played at the FIBA Eurobasket last year for the Finnish team that made it to the quarterfinals. And again, that looks like some good fortune for Karhu that they actually were awarded possession there. Continent trying to get the ball to Dixon, but Victor Sanders got his hands out. The winner of this semifinal will take on Kalev or Cholet in the finals. Those two teams playing the second leg of their game later tonight. Kalev with a 7-point win in the first leg, but they will be on the road in leg number 2. So all bets are off about who's going to win that tie. Continent hitting it just inside the arc. Now Green steps back, and the shot is good, but that's a 2. Excuse me, that's not Green. That was Moore who's checked in, and he was great in the first leg as well. Lee Moore. Another shot by Henry Continent, the three-pointer, and Continent with the first player showing a little bit of oomph in this Karhu basket team today, like he's ready to go for it. So cuts the deficit down to 18 points on aggregate. But Karhu on top. Three-point shot. Not good from Green. Continent. He's open again. He lets it fly, and this time just a little too long. Green spins to get away from Dixon. Skinner picks him up. And Patterson whistled for the foul. Yeah, it's about as clear as day. You're not going to get your hand on him like that and tug on him and not have it be called. He's rotating his players in, trying to keep them fresh. So Crockett back in the game, as is Dolik. And Kaukiainen. Victor Sanders tries to make the pass and is batted away, and Anwil have not looked anywhere near as efficient as they did in the first leg. Crockett. And Continent. And now the foul called on Moore.
Anwil leave Moore ensimmäinen virhe. First personal foul, kolmas joukkuevirhe, 13 foul. Kentälle palaa Wloclawek. Karhu basketilta Cameron Jones.
So Cam Jones comes back into the game. Well, I think the neutral fan would like to see this become a little bit closer than it is right now. It's a 1-point lead for Karhu, but they trail by 18 on aggregate. And Victor Sanders reaches in and commits the foul on Cam Jones.
Sanders ensimmäinen virhe, first personal foul, neljäs joukkuevirhe, 14 foul.
So being also in the game now, the Croatian big. Here's Crockett, wide open, you can count it! And now it's a 13-9 lead, folks, and you can just feel like if they can get any type of run going, this could get really interesting. They've shaved 4 points off the overall deficit, so now they're behind by 15 on aggregate. But a tough move by Victor Sanders, just taking it all the way. Crockett pulls up from behind the arc, and Dixon with the offensive rebound. That's goal interference. So Bojanowski with the goal interference. Once it hits the backboard, you're not able to go up and touch it. Two and a half minutes remaining in the first quarter. And that's going to be a backcourt violation. And if Anwil continue to make mistakes like this, you're going to have to say that some cracks may be starting to appear for them. We didn't see any of this in the first leg. Polchaski comes back into the game. Kaukiainen into the paint. And now he's going to turn it over. He thought Cam Jones was going to be going to his right. So that hurts for Karhu. Now the foul again on Karhu as they come out and contest.
Ensimmäinen virhe, first personal foul, 4. joukkuevirhe, 14.
The dump to Sobin, takes it back outside, and the three-point shot. No good, but a push on Martinen. So the basketball will stay at this end.
Karhu basket 21, Miikka Marttinen.
Lipinski that attempted the three-point shot.
Vapaa heitto viivalla Mikhail Novakovski.
And Novakovski makes the first. And gets the second to go as well. So Anwil closing the gap in this game. But right now, still in command overall, up by 17 points on aggregate. Kakiainen. Over to Jones with a little runner. Dolink. Jones catches it before it goes out of bounds. Launches it from deep. Well, the last game was the first time that he had hit multiple three-pointers in one game of the Basketball Champions League, the FIBA Europe Cup this season. He hit two. And good patience for Anwil in the pass into the paint, and Novakovski goes up and ties the game, ties the second leg at 15. Dolink from downtown, Wolchanski rebounds it, brings it up. Novakovski, his pass, skip pass, into the corner now. Lee Moore. Cam Jones leans into one and puts Karhu back in front. Let's see if they can give a little pressure here, prevent him from getting it up across midcourt in time. Nope, they do just in the nick of time. Now Lee Moore, bounce pass. And Sobin with the layup. Sobin looks absolutely exhausted out there. Kakiainen missing, and that's how the first quarter finishes. Well, it's not going to be good enough for Karhu basket. They got to whittle into that big lead. So right now, knotted at 17, and that was the first 2 points of the game. And Anwil had a good start, but wouldn't say they've been outstanding. The Karhu basket not able to take advantage yet. 17. Second quarter underway as Continent checks back into the game. Knotted at 17. Karhu need to start making some inroads into this deficit. Jones's pass into the paint, knocked away. So it's Dixon, Jones, Continent, Patterson, Manny Patterson, and Skinner in the game for Karhu as the ball goes out of bounds. And it's Green, Wloclawek, Novakovsky, Slipinski, and Sobin for Anwil, who are wearing the blue today. Oh, they almost had a pass into the paint there to Novakovsky, but they take it back out. Bounce pass, Sobin dumps it off. Good hands, Dixon knocking it away from Novakovsky. Continent. Back to Jones. Into the corner, Dixon wide open. And Novakovsky, once again, has it knocked out of his hands. Can't stress enough how hard and how well he played in the opening leg, but he's going to come out of the game right now. Continent fouled by, no, they're going to say the foul's on Finland, on Jones. Trying to set a screen. Well, just kind of collided with the Anwil player. Sanders from deep, not there. And Sobin had good position, but not able to rebound it. And another chance for Karhu. Dixon spins, gets in. Oh, that was a sweet move and a sweet finish. Dikembe, Dixon. Well, you know if your name's Dikembe, you got to deliver. No finger wag, at least not yet. Like the great Dikembe Mutombo. Williams comes back in for Sobin. See if Williams tries to post up. Wloclawek. Green. And so far, they have not had to suffer with Green making a lot of threes. Dixon showing some signs of life. Picks up the dribble, gets it back. Jones drives in, gets rejected, but a foul called. It's a nice change of direction there for Jones. And he makes both free throws. Kakianen back in the game, number 11 for Karhu. Wloclawek drifts in and well short. with his attempt. Compton picks up the dribble. He's double teamed. Somebody's got to be open. They push it quickly. Skinner. And Sanders gets back on defense. Compton over to Crockett. Takes it into the paint. Gets it to go. And the lead is now 6 in this leg. Trailing by 13 points on aggregate. And they are going to call the foul. Wow, what a finish.
Karhu basketilta kentälle Daniel Doling. Anwil lähettää kentälle Luke Petrasekin. Vapaaheitto viivalla kodin tehnyt Kamil Latzinski.
So what a shot that was from Kamil Wloclawek. And here he is with a chance for a three-point play, but he misses. Kalkiainen just inside the stripe. That was short. Sanders makes the three-pointer. And his three-pointers were so timely in that first leg as well. There's Wloclawek with the great hustle, almost forcing the turnover. So all of a sudden, Wloclawek doing great things for this team. He's played for Poland's national team before.
Äskeinen heitto tarkistetaan kuvanauhalta, oliko se 2 vai 3 pistettä.
I'm not sure if this is a coach's challenge or not. Look it.
Karhu Basketin seuraava kotiottelu on tulevana lauantaina, pääsiäislauantaina kello 16 silloin puoli.
So they give him the extra point.
Vastaan täällä IKH-areenassa. Ja äskeinen Anvilin heitto oli 3 pistettä.
Kalkiainen yet to get really going. Same with Crockett. Skinner hands it off. And I'm back to Kalkiainen for 3. And right on cue. That's what they need. Kalkiainen takes it back up to a 4-point lead in the leg. Down by 15 on aggregate. Sanders drives and scores. It just looked like if he was patient, he was going to get the open look, and he went right past Dolink. Skinner from the left corner. And Crockett hustles, not able to get to the basketball, though. He's beat by Moore. Sanders back outside. Malik Williams. And Green. Oh, he just needed a little bit of space. And just like that, a run has put Anwil back in front. 27-26. Sanders has 7, and Anwil lead it 27-26. Timeout called by Karhu.
Coming up, pass, back screen, into the corner, and now go to the basket or flare. Go to the basket or flare, Jay. Read it. If the back screen is here, if they're going under, flare it, okay? If it's not, and now if Jay is lobbing Severi or Eero, you need to, after the pass, need to go to the corner and come up ready to shoot.
Hey, last 5 minutes. We need to really push.
Let's go. Hey, push the ball. Remember, wide, and we're looking.
We need a lead right here. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Karhu. Come on, Orange. Get this back.
Well, it's a frustrating turn of events for Karhu because they were leading by 6 points in the leg, which meant they had cut the aggregate deficit down to 13, only for Anwil now to race back in front in this game and have a 20-point lead now on aggregate. But the clock is the best friend of Karhu right now. Still plenty of time. Well, the pass looked like it was intended for Dolink, and now Enema puts it up and well short. So getting nothing out of the timeout is always a frustrating situation for a team when they're trailing or when they're trying to reclaim the momentum. Good defense. Kalkanen pulls up from deep, and you can count it. I mean, he shows signs, Severi Kalkanen, of just being an outstanding player. I mean, he really goes for it. They're pressuring Moore as he gets in, and then Moore makes the short jump shot. Oh, cool, calm, and collected. Kalkanen, his pass intended for Dolink. I guess he thought he was going to be driving because he threw it in front of him. Here's Moore driving in, and he is fouled by Enema.
Karhu basket 20 Eero Innamaa ensimmäinen. First personal foul, kolmas joukkuevirhe, third team foul. Karhu basketilta kentälle Dixon, Patterson ja Jones. Vapaa heitto viivalla on Lee Moore. Kentälle myös Henrik Kantonen.
So Enema goes back out of the game, and Kantonen comes back in. But really just haven't seen any play here from Karhu where they've been able to sustain a run. And right now, as Moore misses the first, it's a 19-point lead overall for Anwil. We're basically playing in the second half. Look at it like that, and now Karhu did not get the rebound on the missed free throw, so that just adds to the frustration. Here's the pass. It goes out of bounds, and the ball is awarded to Karhu. Jones drives in and is fouled from behind. So watch number 4. He's going to reach in and foul him. And Cam Jones able to contort his body enough to get that basketball to drop. And makes the second. And this crowd here not giving up on Karhu yet. They lead by 2 points in the leg. Got a lot of work to do. Anwil, meanwhile, would like nothing more than to lower the boom here in the first half, but an offensive foul gives the basketball back to Karhu. So Novakovsky picks up the foul. Pushing off on Kantanen. And there's a reach by Moore. There's another reach by Moore. Kantanen, and Moore finally comes up with the basketball. And the kick. Moore got away with a couple of reaches there. So it just kind of suggests that they're letting him play. Long two if it drops. It does not. Crockett. Here he goes, driving in. Hangs in the air, and he earns the trip to the line. Oh, maybe good job down low there. Freeing up some space for the big fella. But I like Crockett as a player that can maybe has that ability to take his level up just a little bit more and really help Karhu as they try to claw back into this game. But misses the free throw. Karhu top of the Korsliga. 26 wins, 6 defeats. Last time I checked, 32-29. They would like to get to the final of the FIBA Europe Cup, but it's just really going to be difficult to overcome this Anwil team. They just haven't really, again, had that run that's giving them real hope. And again, Malik Williams gets down low and scores. You got to have stops and you got to have points. Crockett almost lost it. Kantanen. Crockett from deep. And that was well short into the hands of Williams. Williams from deep. And just orange shirts. Cam Jones. Kantanen dribbles back outside. And they turn it over. And we've seen this several times in this tie, in this series. And even today, a couple of turnovers by Karhu, which are just unforced.
sekä Severi Kaukiainen.
Severi Kaukiainen comes back into the game. Dolan comes back in.
Dole.
You know, I was talking about how maybe Crockett was the guy to really need to pick it up, but we've seen Kaukiainen do it in this series. He's capable of providing a spark. He's got to provide it now. Visitors have an 18-point lead on aggregate. Lee Moore missing it. Here's Dixon. Well, Dixon, again, another player. We've already seen him go with one move. Here he is. He loses it, gets it back into the corner. And Skinner for three! So that now makes it, once again, a 15-point lead on aggregate. They've got to get a stop here. They need some confidence to take to halftime. Karhu. Meanwhile, Anwil. Can they get a bucket here right before the end? Moore goes in deep and gets it to the corner. Wide open Green, misses. Boy, you would have bet money on him making that shot. He's such a good three-point shooter, but he misses. Well, just a mini run right at the end of the half. Makes you think that Karhu do have a faint chance of doing this. But again, they need to have a good, positive start to the second half. Right now, we're at halftime, and it's 35-31. Karhu basket on top of Anwil Wloclawek in the second leg at halftime. looking ahead at this tie, they understood that first leg to be essentially the first half of a game. And this is the second half playing out before us right now. And Anwil, despite not being quite as sharp today, not quite as physical, not having the home court advantage, they've done enough to really not have any serious damage done to their chances. And it's on Karhu. It's imperative for Karhu to really put them under pressure. And they just have not been able to do it yet, or they're able to. They just haven't done it. And maybe if they switch off just a little bit mentally, that'll give Karhu a chance. We did see a moment where Kantanen came into the game, and also Kalkianen. But we haven't seen the best of Dolink yet. We haven't seen the best from Crockett. We haven't seen the best from a lot of these players. And right about now, the clock does start becoming the enemy for Karhu baskets. So they have to really make inroads if they want to make it to the final, if they want to overturn this deficit. Second half action is underway in the second leg of the FIBA Europe Cup semifinal. Lee Skinner didn't see that pass that was made to Green, or he could have knocked it and gone the other way. And the pass down low in the dunk. And it's Petrasic. And sleepy start to the second half for the team in orange. Jones drives in. Good look. He tried to make sure he got some contact. Malik Williams gets it up to Green. Now he spins, turns, goes behind his back, and takes it back out. I mean, I could understand what Cam Jones was doing there, but it was almost as if he put too much effort into getting the contact instead of actually going up strong for the layup. Crockett pushes off and commits the foul on Williams.
Second personal foul, ensimmäinen joukkuevirhe, first team foul.
Wloclawek being guarded by Dolink. And then Crockett just made contact with Williams, and he went flying out of bounds. Good hands by Crockett to force the turnover. No, it goes to Williams. And a break for Anwil. They stay with it. They don't score. Williams gets it back, and he's denied, but he is fouled. Well, all credit to Williams for sticking with it. And again, that little sequence there is basically the story of this entire tie. The opportunity is there just to get the basketball for Karhu, but they're guilty of ball watching a little bit, and then they're trying to challenge the shooter. Williams misses the free throw. We did see that Karhu basket was able to bother Anwil in the first half with some pressure, some full court pressure. They struggled a couple times getting the basketball across midcourt. Maybe that's the answer. Maybe try to be a little bit more disruptive on defense. Kalkianen drives in. He's fouled by Wloclawek.
Second personal foul, ensimmäinen joukkuevirhe, first team foul.
Jones back to Kalkianen, comes in as Williams came out on him. Kalkianen tries to make the pass to Dolink. Good hustle from Dolink to get the ball, but basically Anwil have just taken him out of the game. Entry pass, Skinner, that was short. Crockett with the rebound, passes it back outside to Jones. He's open, he lets it fly. Front and back of the rim. Dolink goes for the rebound. Williams has it. And then the foul called on Dolink.
Third personal foul, kolmas joukkuevirhe, third team foul. Karhu Basket vaihtaa kentälle Dixon.
I just don't think Karhu can play this type of game, and they've got to really try to disrupt things full court. I think their coach knows it as well. They got to try to speed the game up a little bit, maybe force some turnovers and get something, because otherwise Anwil are just far too comfortable. Here's Dixon going for the steal. Moore checks into the game. He's got the basketball. Passes down low to Williams, and he goes up for the dunk. Crockett fouled down low by Moore.
Anwil kaksi, Lee Moore toinen virhe, second personal foul, toinen joukkuevirhe, second team foul.
Dixon, that's a two if it goes. Crockett got his hands on it. Skinner comes up with it. He's trying to control it. He's got it. They whip it to the corner. Cam Jones, he misses another three. Dixon goes after it, and here comes Wloclawek and Anwil, who lead it by 1 point on the night. 20 on aggregate. Petrasik battling down low with Kalkianen. Wloclawek steps back for three, misses everything. Oh boy, Williams hustles, gets the ball in bounds, and the bank was not open for Green. Kalkianen drives in against Petrasik. Oh boy, that's a cardinal sin. Lee Moore throwing it under the other team's basket. That's why I think if you pressure this Anwil team, they might be a little vulnerable. Got to see some type of pressure defensively. There's Jones coming up on Green. It changed now. Green going up against Skinner for three. And Crockett goes after the basketball. And fortunately for Karhu, they're going to get possession. Manny Patterson comes back into the game. Inema also comes back into the game. Nice venue. I like it here. The big Karhu, big bear logo at midcourt. They need to play like a bear the rest of the way if they're going to have a chance. Inema drives in. Oh boy, he had the layup. He missed it. Another blown opportunity. Petrasik for three, and of course that's what happens. That's a 5-point swing. Inema misses the layup, and Petrasik hits the three. Wow. Kantanen drives, passes it back outside to Inema. And Manny Patterson missing. And this Karhu team is reeling right now. Down 39-37. Oh, they find Victor Sanders. Oh, he missed a layup. What a reprieve for Karhu. That would have been devastating. And here's Dixon driving in, and he's fouled, so he goes to the line. The way Dixon plays, you'd almost be willing just to kind of space out your team and let him just go straight to the basket, try to get you something. And then as he goes to the basket, everybody kind of collapses and rebounds because nothing else seems to be really working right now for Karhu. Here's Dikembe. makes the first. And the second rattles out. And they might end up coming back with the basketball. It's Sobin who's checked into the game. He's got the basketball. And he is indeed tied up. Lee Moore open. And the long rebound to Victor Sanders. Novakovsky, right idea. Bounce pass went off of Sobin and out of bounds. Here's Dixon from deep. And the former UIC Flame drills it. I don't know. I mean, I've watched a game and a half, a little bit more of these two teams. And the offense just is not clicking at all for this Karhu team. But Dixon does have the capacity to make some plays. Just let him go to work. Still trailing by 17 points on aggregate. Moore. Surrounded all. Beautiful play, and he gets it to Petrasic. Moore held on to it. There's Dixon. Now the pass up to Moore. I think Petrasic did the right thing there. He's bent over, looking to come out now, but you see your teammates double team, you just cut to the basket, and you're going to get a layup, and that's what he did. So substitutions coming in. Sobin hands it off. And here comes Jones. Canton to the corner. 3-point shot. Skinner missing. Good defense to steal by Green. Sanders goes behind his back, drives in. Green, oh boy, that's a dagger right there. With 13 minutes left in the game. And we'll go up by 22 points on aggregate. Nice pass to Jones. Good play from Kantanen. Sobin spins. Sanders for three. I think he got off too late. Maybe not. So a new 14. Dolan guarding Green. Green slips, now goes to the basket and scores.
Green.
That's about as good as it gets. Take all that time off the clock, and then you score right at the end. Jones bumped by Sobin.
Anwil 8, Zobin. Toinen virhe, second personal foul, 4. joukkuevirhe, 4th team foul, kentälle Anwil Williams. Karhu Basket, Crockett, Patterson ja Kaukkiainen.
Kaukanen gets it into the paint. Tries to get it back to Jones. And another turnover. How many times have we seen Karhu just self-destruct? That should be so frustrating for the players and the coach. So 11 turnovers. And now traveling on Slupinski. Hey, the three-point shot right off the bench is Mika Martinen. And Karhu go back up by 1 in the leg. But again, it's all about sustaining something. It's about getting a run. You can feel the crowd just itching to get loud and crazy. Trasic stepped out of bounds. Late in the third quarter, Karhu simply must get some type of run here to cut into this deficit. Crockett steps back, puts it up. I mean, ideally, you'd like to get something right at the rim. Wloclawek, his bounce pass wasn't intended for Sanders, but he came up with it, and Sanders drives in. Looks like Martin got away with a push. Sanders hustles back down the floor. Kaukanen turns it over, trying to make it happen, trying to get the pass down low, and there's Martin getting in. So then we'll try to take the last shot of the quarter. Green has it. Gets into the corner. Petrasic for 3. And boy, that is a dagger. Right at the end of the third quarter is Anwil go up 50-46 in the second leg. They lead about 24 points on aggregate.
Karhu Basketin seuraava kotiottelu tulevana lauantaina, eli 8. päivä huhtikuuta.
In fact, no, sorry, it's 23 points on aggregate. They lead it 140-117. Well, the FIBA Europe Cup, which has been around since 2016. First one was won. I was there for that one in France, in Chalon, Fraport Skyliners, led by Coach Gordy Herbert. And he had a great team. He had Aaron Dornekamp in there. He had Johannes Voigtman. They won it 66-62 over Open Job Metis. Open Job Metis Varese. The Nanterre won it the next year over Chalon, Elan Chalon. So the one that was in 2016 was a Final Four format. Then Nanterre won, which was a home and away. Then it was Monterrey Venezia winning it over Avellino in 2018. Dinamo Sassari in 2019 over S. Oliver Würzburg. Erroneous, well, in 2020, because of COVID, they canceled it. Oh, nice pass and nice finish. And just feel right now that this Anwil team is putting the finishing touches, the icing on the cake. 2021, Erroneous Ziona from Israel winning it over Arged. BM Slam Stahl from Poland. And now it looks like we're going to have another Poland team that's going to make it to the final. As we say, a miracle comeback here for Karhu basket. 2022, last year, we saw Bachisahir College win against Una Hotels Reggio Emilia. Just a 162 to 143 overall, but that was a great season in the FIBA Europe Cup. So a 4-point lead for Anwil on the night. Coming up on the 9-minute mark. Sanders, it's a 2 if it drops. And no box out of Williams. And he is fouled from behind by Jones.
Karhu basket 10, Manny Patterson 4. Fourth personal foul, ensimmäinen joukkuevirhe, first team foul.
In fact, they might have called it on Patterson. So yeah, they call the foul Manny Patterson and not Jones. Misses the first. So now the clock is definitely the enemy for Karhu basket. Not to mention the fact that they just aren't really cutting into this deficit at all. In fact, they're being outscored now by 5 points on the night. Boy, Kantanen, that was a pass that had Sanders just called it like he should have. He could have been off to the races for an easy layup. Not sure why he didn't catch that. Jones passes. And good finish by Skinner. Wide open Wloclawek. He's going to take it. And Dolik turns right into Petrasic and is able to get away from him without turning it over. Jones reads the D, takes it deep. Here's Dolik for 3. Wloclawek gets it over to Sanders, who's fouled. And Sanders is going to be a good sport. Go over and help up Cam Jones. Because Cam Jones kind of slid into the letting, the advertising board there. Well, Finland, they want to see maybe if there's an unsportsmanlike, and maybe that's why Sanders ran over to check on him. Well, they'll definitely go and look at it, I would imagine, since they've been huddled up talking about it. So they will go look.
Karhu basket 1, Cameron Jones, toinen virhe, second personal foul, toinen joukkuevirhe, second team foul. Tilanne tarkistetaan videolta. Karhu basket 1, Cameron Jones, epäurheilijamainen virhe, toinen henkilökohtainen, second personal, toinen joukkue.
They have called the, oh gosh, they've called the unsportsmanlike on Cameron Jones. I don't see that. No, they saw something that I didn't. Maybe it was because of the way Sanders went to run over and help Jones up. I definitely could be wrong. Well, I don't know, folks. I mean, we're in Finland. Not seeing too many happy faces here, but Finland, in the annual World Happiness Report, which rates well-being in countries around the world, and for the 6th consecutive year, Finland ranked at the very top. So, essentially, Finland, you argue, is the happiest country on earth. They have a lot of things going for them. Good education, you like the saunas, good infrastructure, but beautiful outdoor life, the forests, the lakes. But right now they're getting tanned by Anwil, trailing 54-50 here in the fourth quarter. And that means they're down by 24 points. Excuse me.
Lee, you're going to go screen Henkka's player. Immediately do it when you get the ball. Shot fake, one dribble hard to the elbow, Henkka. You're coming off Lee's screen here, shooting a 3 from behind. Okay?
Here we go, execute. Let's go, Warren. Same thing, every time. If they score, quick out, let's run.
If Henkka doesn't have the 3-point shot ready, re-screen, and now Cam ready to cut back door on that. Lee, get out.
Let's go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Karhu.
Henkka.
Well, while Karhu is up at the top of their league, Kors League in Finland, it's not the same for Anwil, who have had their struggles domestically. Currently 9th and just adds, I guess, to the importance of them doing well in this competition. They want to come out and get the win. There's Karhu basket with a three-point shot. Kantonen. Under 7.5 minutes remaining. Green don't get the shot off in time. Well, it's always been about the defense, really. I mean, and for me, the only way, earlier in the second half, it was clear to me that they had to force some turnovers, make the game kind of crazy, and get some easy buckets because they are just not getting it done otherwise. Cam Jones to the baseline. Back outside to Dixon. He is fouled while shooting a three-pointer. Well, that's an ideal scenario there if he makes all 3 free throws with the clock stopped. So Victor Sanders tries to get a hand in the face and makes a little contact. If Dixon had been able to make that, he might have had a 4-point play. As it is, he's got to take 3 free throws. Makes the first. Dixon at the line today, 3 of 5. Takes his time and makes the second. Gets it back to a 17-point deficit on aggregate. Excuse me, now it's a 17-point deficit on aggregate. Now they trap and they force the turnover on Sanders. Might need a break. Dixon open and takes the 3 and he makes it. And this is the run, perhaps, that Karhu have been waiting on. 59-54. They trail by 14 points on aggregate with this amount of time. And again, it's imperative. And we just saw it right there, folks. I've been talking about it. You got to get something with your defense. You got to create a little bit of chaos. Get some easy buckets. Because setting up in the half court, it just hasn't been working for this team. So let's see if they can apply some pressure. Anwil still in command. And they break the press easy that time. It is imperative that they get a stop and they get the rebound. Green. And, well, that is just a major shot by Green. Of all players, you can't leave open. All of them. In this Anwil team, it is Green. Even if he's a meter behind the arc, you can't give him any space. Best shooter on the court by far. He's 2 of 6 from deep tonight. Kalkiainen comes back into the game. Green came into this shooting 52.6% from three-point range. I mean, that is insane. That is a great shooter from three-point range. 52.6%. And tonight, he's hit a couple of threes. So Crockett back in. Kalkiainen hands it off to Crockett. And doesn't drop. Green again. Will he deliver another blow? This time he drives, and he does. This time with the layup. And because he's able to hit that shot, and when you do go out and guard him, you have to guard him. You can't let him go past you because he will finish. Jones gets those 2 points right back, and this allows them to set up and to put some pressure in the backcourt. Green fouled.
Karhu basket 1. Cameron Jones, kolmas virhe, third personal foul. Kolmas joukkuevirhe, third team foul.
I think James was moving his feet in the wrong direction. Didn't realize his teammate was there to come up and potentially trap. And in the end, he had to foul. Wloclawek for 3 and an out. Kakiani. Will he put it up? Somebody's got to put it up. And Wloclawek gets a hand on it. Karhu leading by 2 points on the night. 17 points is the Anwil lead on aggregate. The winner of this will face the winner of Kalev's game against, or tie against Cholet. So timeout on the court. 5 minutes remaining. Let's go down to the huddle.
Come off of that. If Jay, you have the front position here, let's look inside straight for Jay. If it's not there, get the handoff from pass it to Lee. Hand up, and now Lee setting the first one, Manny second one. Jay, you clear out. Cam up the stagger. Look it for Cam attacking off that or the 3. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, Karhu. Älä pakota, jos ei se tee
So coming right out of the timeout and scoring on the break, just what Anwil would have liked, as they knotted at 61. Kalkianen back to Jones from deep and rattles out. And time is running out on Karhu's season in the FIBA Europe Cup. It's been a great season, but grounding to a halt here against Anwil in the semifinals. Green open and just automatic from three-point range. Kalkianen saves it before it goes out of bounds. And the basketball is turned over, and disappointment for Karhu. Well, the 53-pointer is made by Philip Green, ranked number 1 in the FIBA Europe Cup. That was the 50 before this game. So he's added 3 more tonight. He's got 53. Artur Konotsuk from Kalev has 49. He shoots it well too, 45%. But you would think right now that Green will ultimately finish with the most made three-pointers in the competition, and he has done so at a very good rate, good efficient rate. Kalkianen makes one from the elbow. Enema called for the foul.
Karhu Basket 20, Eero Innamaa.
Well, even if they don't win tonight, Karhu,
Second personal foul.
they'd like to get, if they don't advance rather to the final, they'd still like to win the second leg.
Daniel Dolan.
Dolan comes back in. Lee Moore dribbles right. Green steps back. Will it be another three? Not this time. Moore comes in and not able to come up with a steal. Dolik gets it over to his teammate, Enema. Back to Dolik, who still doesn't get the three. Looked like maybe Anwil got away with the push there, but really it doesn't matter with 2:40 remaining, and Anwil leading by 1 point on the night. 20 points overall. They will be in the final of the FIBA Europe Cup. Dixon misses. So being with the rebound. You know, you gotta, in basketball, you've got to be able to go to plan B or plan C when things aren't working, and I've harped on it. And maybe it's easier said than done, switching into a full court press or a trap, but maybe that's not going to be your strength. You're going to give away some opportunities to the opposition, but you do have to be able to kind of change gears and try something different when something else isn't working. And we just saw glimpses of it from Karhu, but also to be able to set up defensively, you got to be able to make shots, and they haven't been able to make many shots tonight. So it's just been a real semifinal series of frustration for Karhu basket. The fans came out tonight thinking they might see something special here in Finland, and I think the door was definitely open in that first half. The door was open, and Karhu just did not walk through. Didn't play as well as they needed to. There's Skinner. Good work getting him another look. He misses again. Martinen going for the basketball, and Moore comes up with it. And again, now Karhu thinking maybe just to give their fans some solace to get something out of this game, just win it. Win the second leg if you can, even if you're not going to get to the final.
Karhu Basket 21, Miikka Marttinen, toinen virhe, second personal foul, joukkuevirhe täynnä, team fouls full.
Bartosz Lipinski. Haven't seen much of him tonight. Well, Anwil will be hoping that this win kind of helps them build a little confidence, not just as they be going to the FIBA Europe Cup finals, but also in the Polish league, where they're battling away, trying to make it into the Polish postseason. They want to play European basketball next year as well, but they've got a lot of work to do. Timeout on the court here right at the end. Anwil leading at 67-63 over Karhu, 103 remaining.
Jay hit it, lead. You're coming up, flip it. Jay, you seal, looking inside. Jay, and now pop it here. So either Jay inside or to Lee on the pop and be ready to give the extra pass to Eero then if it's not open.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3, Karhu. Finish the game.
So Karhu going to try to inbound the basketball, and they do. Skinner has it. Can they at least get a win tonight here in front of their home fans? Can they get a layup from Enema? He's denied. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay at this end. There's Crockett. And Crockett just really never got it going in this series either. I mean, in fairness, nobody in the Karhu team has gotten it going against Anwil. There's the dump to Slipinski into the corner. Gets it back. And he's out of bounds. Good try from Bojanovic. So can they at least get a win? I mean, the other possibility would be to force overtime and to get an extra 5 minutes. And I suppose that's probably why the Anwil called the timeout, to talk about that. We definitely don't want overtime. We want to finish this game now. And the ball turned over. And here is Anwil. And they're just going to hold on to the basketball as the clock ticks off. And that's it, folks. Anwil Wloclawek have won the second leg, 67-63. And they have clinched a 157-134 win over Karhu Basket. On aggregate, they will advance to the FIBA Europe Cup final. They will battle for a European title. And they await the winner now of Cholet and Kalev, who are going to get it on. That'll tip off in about 44 minutes. So they'll be watching events there. But right now, they're just going to celebrate their progression to the finals of the FIBA Europe Cup. It's been a great season for Karhu Basket in this competition. They know they could play much better than they did. It really felt like they lost this tie last week when they played in Poland. And Anwil just roared on by that incredible crowd, just claimed an insurmountable lead. Well, I say insurmountable. They just gave themselves, they just put 1 foot into the FIBA Europe Cup finals with that huge 19-point win. And tonight, I think their overall aggregate lead was cut to 14 points. But ultimately, they were, I would suggest, comfortable winners in the end. So, one final time is Anwil Wloclawek winning at 67-63 over Karhu Basket. They advance to the FIBA Euro Cup finals. And they will take on the winner of Kalev and Cholet. And the finals will be April 19th and April 26th. But you look at the shooting numbers tonight, 49% overall for Anwil, just 37.29% for Karhu Basket, and that was really one of the main issues. Karhu Basket just not able to score in this series. Anwil ended up with more turnovers tonight, but clearly the better team winning both legs. Karhu Basket go around shaking the hands of their fans, saying thank you for coming out to support us, and they will now turn their focus on to the Finnish league, and no doubt the Finnish fans, the Karhu fans, will be coming out to support them in that endeavor. For Anwil tonight, well, I'm sure they're going to have a good time as they go back to the hotel and when they travel back home to Poland. But again, they will now have a couple of weeks before the finals of the FIBA Europe Cup, when they will play either Kalev or Cholet. So one last time tonight here in Karhu, here in Finland, Anwil winning it 67-63 for a 157-134 victory on aggregate over Karhu Basket. Anwil Wloclawek are advancing to the finals of the FIBA Europe Cup.
Kyllä me saatiin nopeutettua sitä peliä ajoittain, mutta ei me sitten kuitenkaan saatu Anwiliin sellaisia vaikeuksia, mitä me tässä haluttu, että kontrolloitua peliä aika hyvin ja ei sitten saatu semmoista 10-0, 15-0 raniitusta, niin ei onnistuttu siinäkään sillä hetkellä tästä.
Teillä on huikea.
No, on tää hyvä asia